Hey guys, today I just wanted to show you the new beta Essential Effects feature that I'm adding to Essential Housing Tools. This is going to allow you to add custom 3D visual effects into your home anywhere you'd like. There's going to be a growing list of effects that I plan to add. Right now it's just a handful of them to get started, and it is definitely in beta. So what that's going to mean for right now is that, one, these effects are subject to change, so I wouldn't decorate too heavily around them just yet. I'm not expecting them to change too much, but I just want to let you guys know. And the other thing is that no one else will be able to see these effects just yet. In a future release, I'll be adding support for other players to actually be able to see these effects. And depending on if they grant a request that I put in with the devs, it'll either be for all players or it'll be for players in your group, sort of like the way triggers work. So we'll have to see about that. But at some point in the near future, other people will actually be able to see these effects as well. So just to get started, I guess I'm going to show you how to add effects, and that is all done through this new FX button here next to the EHT button. So that will only be available when you are actually in housing editor mode, so when you hit F5. And as you can see here, if I click on it, it shows a list of all the different effects that you can add into your house. Now when you actually click on an effect, what it's going to do is drop the effect right at your feet. So if I click Magica Circle, it's going to add that effect literally right where I'm standing. And then if I stay in housing editor mode, I'll see this paint bucket icon. If I click on that, that actually brings up the effect editor panel. And this actually gives me the controls that I would need to position or rotate or pinch or stretch the effect and or change the color of it even. So using these controls here, I'll just show you real quick. So I can actually position the effect however I want. I can raise it with the height. You could rotate it, that won't do much with this particular effect, but you can also size it. So here I'm scaling it out to be significantly larger than the default. And actually all four of these types of controls, position, height, rotation, and size, all of these you can change to be smaller or larger increments just by holding Control for small increments or Shift for large increments. So if I just do position normally or height normally, you have pretty fine control over the height. But if I hold Shift and I click it, as you can see, it moves quite a bit in one click. So you can use that to move these things a little more quickly or a little more controlled. Using the color panel here, I can also adjust the color of any of these effects. So the way this works is you would either click on the top part of a color to add more of that color. So in this case, I'm adding more red. Or you can click on the bottom part of a color, like I'll take away some of the green, to remove some of that color. So using this, you can actually get a pretty wide array of colors for any of these effects. When you're done making your changes with a particular effect, you can just hit save, and that just puts you back into regular editor mode. And then of course, if you exit the housing editor mode, the little paint bucket completely disappears, so you don't have to see that all the time. And like I said, there's going to be a host of effects that I'm going to be adding. I'm just starting with a few of them. So I know one common one that a lot of people have asked for is water. So water just sort of gives you a panel that is pretty much a solid color. You can adjust that however you need to. Make it look a little more water-like if you wish. And again, using these controls here, I can stretch it or shrink it however I'd like. I can rotate it, lower it down into the ground. Oops, not that much though. And as you can see, it uses, for anyone who's technical, it uses depth buffering, so it actually does let you put it in with other elements of the environment. So it'll actually sort of shape itself around other things that you place it near. So if you're doing like a stream with rocks in it or whatever, it'll actually shape around that as needed. One other thing I just want to show you, so if you are just testing this and playing around with it, if at any point you want to remove all the effects, you can just come back to the FX button here next to the EHT button and click Remove All Effects. It gives you a little confirmation, and they're all gone. So, like I said, adding a whole lot more features to this in the coming weeks. More effects, the ability for other people to see your effects, and probably more controls as well to make editing even more smooth. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and let me know if you have any questions or any suggestions. Thank you so much.